Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird follows the story of Scout Finch, a young girl growing up in the racially divided town of Macomb, Alabama, during the 1930s. The novel is told from Scout's perspective as she navigates childhood with her brother, Jem, and their friend Dill. Their father, Atticus Finch, is a lawyer who defends Tom Robinson, a black man falsely accused of assaulting a white woman. As the trial unfolds, Scout and Jem witness the deep prejudice of their community, but also moments of courage and compassion. Meanwhile, they become fascinated by their reclusive neighbour, Boo Radley, whose true nature contrasts with the fearful rumours spread about him. The story builds toward Tom's wrongful conviction and tragic fate, and the children's eventual realisation that justice does not always prevail. In the end, Boo emerges from the shadows to protect Scout and Jem from an attack, reinforcing the novel's central idea about understanding others beyond appearances. Harper Lee's novel is both a coming-of-age story and a powerful commentary on social justice. Through Scout's innocent yet observant narration, the novel critiques racial and class divisions in the American South while capturing the moral growth of its young characters. The contrast between Atticus's unwavering integrity and the deep-seated prejudice of Macomb citizens highlights the difficulty of challenging injustice. The novel also weaves together multiple storylines: Tom Robinson's trial, the mystery of Boo Radley, and the children's moral development, to create a complex yet accessible narrative. One of the novel's most prominent themes is the systemic racism that shapes Macomb society. Tom Robinson's trial serves as a powerful example of how deeply ingrained prejudice overrides truth and fairness. Despite overwhelming evidence of his innocence, the all-white jury convicts Tom simply because of his race, reflecting the harsh realities of racial injustice in the American South. Through Atticus's defense of Tom, Lee presents a moral contrast between those who uphold justice and those who allow their biases to dictate their decisions. Even Scout and Jem, who initially believe in the fairness of the law, are forced to confront the painful truth that innocence does not guarantee protection. The novel suggests that racism is not just an individual failing, but a deeply rooted societal problem that requires courage and change. Throughout the novel, Scout and Jem undergo significant moral development, learning the importance of understanding others' perspectives. Atticus repeatedly tells Scout to climb into someone's skin and walk around in it, emphasizing empathy as a key value. This lesson is reinforced through their evolving perception of Boo Radley, whom they initially see as a frightening figure but come to understand as a kind and protective presence. Similarly, Jem's reaction to the trial verdict reveals his growing awareness of the world's injustices, marking his transition from childhood innocence to a more complex moral understanding. By the end of the novel, both children recognise that people are not always what they seem, and true courage often comes from choosing compassion over judgment. Lee explores the tension between good and evil, showing how both exist within individuals and society. Macomb is home to figures like Atticus, Miss Maudie, and Boo Radley, who embody kindness and integrity, but it is also filled with people like Bob Ewell, who represent cruelty and ignorance. The novel suggests that evil often prevails when good people remain silent, as seen in Tom Robinson's conviction. However, it also shows that even in a world full of injustice, small acts of goodness, like Atticus's defense of Tom or Boo's protection of the children, can have a lasting impact. By the end of the story, Scout realizes that people are not purely good or evil, but shaped by their choices and experiences, reinforcing the idea that understanding and kindness are the best ways to combat hatred. Atticus Finch, Scout, Jem, and Boo Radley each play crucial roles in conveying the novel's themes. Atticus, the moral centre of the story, stands as a model of integrity and compassion, teaching his children about justice and empathy. His decision to defend Tom Robinson, despite the town's disapproval, highlights his unwavering commitment to doing what is right. Scout, the novel's narrator, begins as a curious and outspoken child, but matures as she witnesses both kindness and cruelty in her community. Jem, slightly older, experiences deep disillusionment with the justice system after Tom's trial, marking his loss of childhood innocence. Finally, Boo Radley, though rarely seen, represents the dangers of misunderstanding and the power of quiet goodness. His actions in the final chapters reveal him as a protector rather than a figure to be feared, reinforcing the novel's message about looking beyond appearances.